Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another recap review for Hulu's Wu-Tang and American Saga. This is season 2, episode 8, and it's entitled Saturday Night. But it should have been called Can It All Be So Simple? I'll tell you why and much more coming up next.
On guard. I'll let you try my wu-tang style.
Alright y'all, again, welcome back to Hulu's Wu-Tang and American Saga. This is my recap review YouTube page. Don't forget to subscribe, share, like, comment on this video. As you probably noticed, there's a little bit of different scenery here, doing some renovation and remodeling at the crib. So that's why I'm out here. But anyway, this episode was superb. It was the best. It's not, I can't say it's my favorite compared to I think it was episode 6 when they were recording Protect Your Neck. I think that's what episode 6. That's still my favorite episode. But this one is a good episode too. Definitely enjoyed it a lot. Let's get into it. All right, so this is again episode 8, Saturday Night, and pretty much you got Power, you got Divine, you got RZA, and they're meeting with different record labels, trying to get signed, trying to convince these record labels, and they just pretty much shopping around. They already got one single out, Protect Your Neck, that's burning up the streets right now, and they get this particular meeting with Def Jam, and Lala, she's playing in the one of the executives of marketing, I believe. I can't remember the actual character name or the actual real person's name. I believe it's Leslie Walker or something like that. I could be wrong. Don't trust me on that. But anyway, this is actually based upon a real person. So Lala is simply telling them, she when a song is good, whenever it makes her wet, pretty much for those who've seen it. But anyway, that was like a famous line that she would say in this episode, throughout this episode. And she has a lot of narration, well, not a lot of narration, but I guess like one of the main points in this episode is her narration. As you know, each episode of this series is very different. They have like this little main tag along, I guess, log line, I guess. I don't know the particular phrase right now to call it, but anyway, that's pretty much her line throughout this episode. So she's basically telling them, there's like we don't even know who the Wu-Tang Clan is. They got a song, it's a good song, could be a one-hit wonder, and we never seen them. So Power, he just comes out of nowhere and be like, they performing tomorrow night at the Fever. Now, for those who don't know, the Fever is a famous hip-hop club. A lot of famous acts perform there. Sugar Hill Gang, Curtis Blow, Run DMC. I mean, the name goes on and on and on. This is New York. This is in the Bronx, New York, where hip-hop was founded. So it's like a legendary club. And you all know Wu-Tang Clan is from Staten Island. So that just brings a whole nother dynamic, to this club. So Power, he just tells them, they're going to be performing tomorrow night. And now that Power has told this lie, he got to make it happen. So he tries to reach out to the club owner. Well, he actually visits the club owner and tell him about this group. And of course, quite obviously, the club owner is like, nah, he don't want to put them on. If they do come, it's going to be a long wait. It's going to be a long line. So he's pretty much telling them no. So what does Power do? He goes and holler at your boy Mook. Y'all remember Mook? He was in episode 6 and he was also in episode 3. I told y'all Mook played a huge role behind Wu-Tang's success, and we kind of see that story unfolding in this episode as well. So he hollers, Power goes to holler at Mook, tell him like, look, man, I know you got connections, you well known, you got to get us in this club, whatever. So Power and Mook, they go see the owner again. I can't remember his name. They go see him again, and again, you know, Mook, you know, he's trying to convince this owner. The owner won't back down, and then eventually he says, okay, they can come on. So now that they got this this venue booked, now RZA is trying to get the clan together so that they can perform and practice, because they've never really, I don't think they really practiced performing at this point. So he books this place, I guess it's like a building space or whatever, so they can do like sound check and blase blase. As soon as they're about to start, another group comes in, like some little ballerina, like a little ballerina class, and they was like, nah, y'all time is up, because they've been spending so much time setting up and trying to prepare. Now they don't really have a place to practice. Also during this scene, so basically RZA is trying to tell them, you know, what songs that they're gonna perform at the Fever. They're gonna do, of course, Protect Your Neck, Method Man, and Can It All Be So Simple. So Ghostface is, I think, you know, Ghostface has this kind of like nervousness about him, and I guess that's part of what really happened. Like he really had this insecure about him, you know, becoming a rapper, because we even seen it in the first episodes, you know, when Cherie was trying to convince him to go back to New York so he can record with Bobby, and he's like, man, you know how many good rappers out there? And she was like, better than you. And then of course we saw when they was recording Protect Your Neck in episode 6, you know, he was just like, he couldn't get his thoughts together. He you know, he was like one of the last few to have their lyrics prepared. So that plays, I guess, a part of his character in this series. So he's really nervous about them performing Can It Be So Simple, because they just recorded that. Also in this episode, I noticed, and I even noticed this the previous episode, Airwaves, where he has this look on his face like he's uncertain about something, like he's uncertain about the group. I don't know if if he's uncertain about the group's success, or if he's uncertain about himself, because, you know, U-God is not really one of the, like, I wouldn't say he's like one of the most popular, or at least at that point he wasn't the most popular of the group. He didn't really get his shine, to me, in my opinion, like how he should have. Or it could also mean that he may have a baby on the way, because during this time in real life, when they actually was on tour, I believe, after they have done 36 Chambers, he had a little boy, and his son got shot. You know, thank God he still lived, but he did got shot during a time after 36 Chambers. So I don't know if it got something to do with him maybe having a kid or whatever. So that's just my thought. I don't know. Does anyone notice? Do y'all notice like the look that they have, like when the camera comes on U-God at certain times? Like he just had this look of uncertainty. That's just something that I peeped out and I noticed about U-God. Also in this scene, we see a glimpse of Master Killer. They didn't say his name. They didn't say who he was, but that's definitely Master Killer. And he's the one that's close with Jizza. That's Jizza's boy. And you can tell, you know, that's Master Killer for those who know, because, you know, he was in the kind of like in the background, you know, just nodding his head. So I'm quite sure they're gonna add Master Killer to the clan, is because he was one of the late members that joined the clan. So now it is Saturday night, and the clan is getting prepared to perform. They got to go to the Fever. They got to, you know, I guess catch the ferry boat or whatever, and get to the Bronx. So also Cherie and Divine's girl, they're planning to go as well, and we see that, you know, they're getting dressed up. They're going to catch the bus to see them perform. So the clan gets to the Fever. They got the name wrong on the billboard. They got the name spelled wrong on the billboard. They won't let nobody in. They definitely won't let nobody from Staten Island in. So the clan is having a hard time trying to get into the Fever. They run through so many challenges to even get to perform. I mean, with them, you know, being that it was just a lie, you know, and them having to actually make it happen. So they get to the Fever. the bodyguard is not letting them in. Mook talks to them, you know. He was able the bouncer was like, okay, I can get 3 in. He's like, nah, we can't get 3 in. It got 8 members, you know. So he was able to finally get them in because the owner saw them. He was like, yo, man, let me talk to the bouncer. So the owner, he lets the whole clan in, the whole entourage in, and ODB, he got the pistol with him. And he tells RZA, because you know they got the metal detectors. He tells RZA, he's like, yo, why would you bring a pistol with you? He's like, man, we in the Bronx. So RZA go hollers at Mook, tell him like, yo, man, OD, you know, he got the pistol with him, and somehow, some way, Mook was able to maneuver that, you know. He brought in the sword, the wu-tang's sword, and they was like, nah, you can't bring that in. He's like, man, that's, you know, that's part of that's like a prop, you know, because they are the Wu-Tang Clan, Kung Fu, you know. So they finally got in, and they get into like their own little section. Divine and Power is waiting in the VIP section. They're waiting on the executives from the record labels to come to see them, which they were late. And it kind of sucked because the group that was performing prior to Wu-Tang Clan, which I believe was the same group that was in season 1, the guys with the dreads, and they was dancing or whatever. I don't know exactly who that group was trying to portray. I don't know exactly. So they gets booed off the stage, which means the Wu-Tang Clan is pressing them to go ahead and perform first. But again, we got a problem because the record executives are not here yet. And so Power and Divine are freaking out. But thanks to ODB, you know, he's the one that's always know how to save the clan in the clutch. You know, even when in the episode when they were recording Method Man, with the lights and the powers going out, you know, ODB, he come through in the clutch, you know. So he got on stage, you know, kind of like warmed the crowd up. And it was kind of crazy because you would think that, you know, the record executives, which they came in time to actually see ODB on stage, you would think that, you know, he was like, nah, this guy's gonna be a problem because the stuff that he was saying, you know. But you know, he was on some true pro-black stuff, and the crowd was feeling it, and the record executives, they liked it too, because Divine and Power, they was getting nervous. It was like, oh my God, what is he doing, you know? But once he got the crowd warmed up, you know, like a hype man, and the group came out and performed, you know, they did Protect Your Neck, they did Method Man, which, you know, of course, the ladies love Method Man in this episode. By the way, Method Man didn't even show up in this episode until it was time for them to get to the Fever and perform. He was even on the van that Mook was driving them. So I don't know what that was about, but anyway, Method Man came through at the last minute, and then they performed "Can It All Be So Simple," and they did a terrific job in this episode with the performance. And one thing, Ghostface, when he realized that Cherie was in the audience, he was like, yo, if anybody touch my girl, you know, y'all gonna have to see me. But yeah, that's pretty much, you know, this whole episode. It was, like I said, it was great, you know. I enjoyed it, and I can't wait to see what's next to come. I think they got like 2 more episodes left, so definitely next episode we're gonna see Master Killer hopefully join the clan. And by the way, also during the performance, Divine offered a position with for Mook, you know, to be a manager. You know, he said that, yo, since me and Power are doing, you know, some of the other business stuff, we need somebody like you who can manage the Wu-Tang Clan. Which actually, if I'm not mistaken, on the documentary Mics of Men, Mook actually, he was like the tour manager, you know. I mean, why not? He got experience driving buses, so it all makes sense. So everything is coming along together, you know, with this episode with the clan, and I'm just excited about this season because, again, this season is more them focusing on recording the 36 Chamber album. Next season, hopefully it'll be them, you know, kind of like going on tour and just a lot of the other outside experience that they went through as a clan. And then of course, Def Jam signing Method Man, which is kind of a bit of a spoiler for those, especially who don't know about the Wu-Tang Clan. That was Def Jam, who Lala was portraying as, the executive for Def Jam. But we all know that Wu-Tang was not signed to Def Jam. Method Man was individually. So that's going to be very interesting. Because according to a interview, Method Man stated that they actually wanted Old Dirty. And that kind of makes sense because Old Dirty was flirting with the lady at the front desk in the Def Jam office. So it kind of makes sense. I guess that was kind of like an Easter egg they was throwing in. So we know that Steve, can't remember his last name, who's the owner, CEO of Loud Records, he was the guy that came in and saw them perform. So of course, he's going to be the one that signed the group, and the group will still be able to individually have, their own solo deals. So that's just a little bit, for those who may not know about the Wu-Tang Clan or may not have seen this series. And I'm just trying to think of anything else that I can remember. I'm probably not going to remember it until next week or whatever. But that was it, what I'm saying, like for this episode. Like I said, it was a very dope episode. I enjoyed it. Can't wait to see what's next to come. So until then, this wraps it up for this recap review. I will see you guys next time. Wu-Tang forever and ever and ever and ever and ever.